SummerSlam is still quite a ways away. We obviously have a few months in between now and SummerSlam coming up in August. We still have four PLEs for WWE to get through before we reach SummerSlam. We obviously have Saturday night's main event coming up. Then we move on to Clash in Italy, then Night of Champions, and then another episode of Saturday night's main event. So technically, it's two PLEs and two episodes of Saturday night's main event because, let's be real, I don't really think Saturday night's main event counts as a PLE. But the reason why I bring up SummerSlam is because usually around this time of year, the weather starts changing, it starts getting warmer outside, summer is slowly approaching. And it's usually around this time of year where we usually start to see what could possibly be the big SummerSlam feud. In years past, 2024, we obviously had the legendary feud of CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre as the biggest feud going into SummerSlam 2024. And then last year, SummerSlam 2025, it was pretty much John Cena and Cody Rhodes as the big feud of last year's SummerSlam. So that got me thinking, what could be the big feud of SummerSlam 2026? So what I did was I wrote down three possible feuds that could end up being the big feud at SummerSlam. So that is obviously the purpose of today's video. We're going to go through the three feuds that I wrote down. And again, they're feuds that I could realistically see happening at a SummerSlam. But real quickly, before we get too far ahead in the video, I want to say that if you are a WWE fan, consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. That is all we post is WWE related content. So if you are a WWE fan, again, consider subscribing. It's free. You can always change your mind later. So when I was going through and working on this video and I was trying to find possible feuds that could be SummerSlam worthy, I still tried to go a little bit with the WrestleMania feel. Because yes, while SummerSlam is no WrestleMania, they have tried to make it into a WrestleMania for the summer. And obviously, we know that with it being a two-night show now, so they have really tried to make SummerSlam into a show that is looked at as a tier just below WrestleMania. And I feel like SummerSlam was always kind of that type of show where it was just a step below WrestleMania, but I feel like they've really tried making it into something a little more bigger, a little more special, a little more grand, like we see at WrestleMania. So the first possible feud that I could see being the feud of the summer heading into SummerSlam, and that is Obafemi versus Roman Reigns. This feud feels inevitable. We know that they had a little back and forth on the post show after WrestleMania where we saw Obafemi calling Roman Reigns out. We saw Roman Reigns respond. We know that Roman Reigns sees a lot of potential with Obafemi as well. And right now, what we're seeing with Obafemi, I think speaks to where WWE kind of is at with him right now. And I don't think they have a lot going for him, and I think that's why you saw them create the Obafemi Open Challenge. Because as of late, that seems to be WWE's recipe for someone who doesn't have a feud or a story, and they just give them an open challenge. And look, the thing with Obafemi is he could jump into a feud with Roman Reigns next week on Monday Night Raw, and no one would bat an eye at it. Because, let's be honest, Obafemi could jump right over the mid card titles and go right after the big guys. He could go after Cody Rhodes. He could go after Roman Reigns whenever he pleases. And again, if WWE wants to continue to boost Obafemi up even more, having him take out Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania and then Roman frickin' Reigns at SummerSlam, that would be something crazy to see. And you can tell a very interesting story. Obafemi coming in, being the young guy, the new kid on the block, with all the potential in the world, going up against a wily vet who has been on the top of the mountain for such a long time. He's been there, he's done that. So I think the story could be interesting, and I think it would be a massive, massive opportunity for Obafemi. Next up, I have Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker slash the Vision. We saw on the most episode of Monday Night Raw that Seth Rollins is not done with Braun Breaker or the Vision as of yet, so this would make sense. And it would kind of give us what we were supposed to get between Braun and Seth on their road to WrestleMania. We ultimately didn't get it, obviously, because of the injuries. So we basically would be getting everything that we got on the road to WrestleMania, but just on the road to SummerSlam. And look, you could still do a lot with this feud because what we saw at Backlash, while it was great, there's still a lot of story left to be told between Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and the rest of the Vision. Let's not forget, Bronson Reed is injured but will be coming back at some point in time. So I do think the next big chapter of this story is going to be Bronson Reed's return, and I think it could line up perfectly. And again, I think we could just end up getting what we were supposed to get at WrestleMania just with SummerSlam. And I'm perfectly okay with that because, again, what we saw between Seth and Braun heading into Backlash, I think was just the tip of the iceberg with this feud. And then the one that I am the least confident in happening, but one that is really, really intriguing, and that is Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk. Again, I'm less confident in this one happening. I think that the chances of it happening are very small, and I'm willing to admit that, but it would make for one heck of a SummerSlam feud. And look, we know that Cody and Punk have had promo segments together, and again, this feels like maybe it's not inevitable like a Roman versus Oba feud is, but I still do feel like it's going to happen eventually, right? Like before CM Punk retires, we've got to get this match one more time. And it's a new feud that we haven't seen in the current WWE. And look, for all intents and purposes, this easily could be a feud that you would see on a WrestleMania card. And if WWE wants to continue to build SummerSlam up into being a WrestleMania esque show, then it would make all the sense in the world to have a WrestleMania esque feud at SummerSlam. And not saying that Roman versus Oba wouldn't be, not saying that Seth versus Braun wouldn't be, but the star power with Cody and Punk in that feud would just speak for itself. And you have the history to build off of between the two to form a very good story. And it makes sense for CM Punk to go after the Undisputed Championship because obviously he just lost the World Heavyweight Championship. So it does kind of make sense for him to hit that next step. And again, I'm willing to admit that I am not so confident in this feud happening for SummerSlam, but it would be one heck of a main event for either night one or night two of SummerSlam. So this is where I want to hear from you guys. Let me know down below in the comment section what you think the big feud for SummerSlam is going to be. The same type of feud that mimics what we saw between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, what we saw between Cody Rhodes and John Cena. What do you think that type of SummerSlam feud is going to be? And also let me know what you think about my picks. Let me know what you think about Roman versus Oba Femi, Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker, and possibly CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. Again, as always, leave your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. And while you're down there, swing by the description and click the Linktree link. That is the only link in the description for a reason. That is because it will take you to all of the social media platforms for this channel. And I do strongly suggest going and checking out our X page. Besides YouTube, I'm most active over on X. We do updates for Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, and the PLEs. And we are also over on Instagram and TikTok as well. So, if you do enjoy these videos and you're looking for some extra content, again, Linktree link in the description. It'll take you to wherever you want to go. So with all that said and done, that is going to do it for this video here. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button. Again, both are free, both really help out the channel a lot. And of course, if you have made it to this point of the video, I want to say thank you very, very much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch these videos here because it genuinely does mean the world to me. And as always, stay tuned for more WWE content coming in the future. We'll see you next time.